Three, two,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I am Jay Tilly.
So,
A little bit of
what do you
news
want to
today.
talk about? My guy! Woo! I am such a Cody junkie,
Oh,
and I wish he would come on NXT tonight and come out
that'd be
and
a huge pop for NXT.
because yeah, so they have this antique setting, the way they have it all set up, and they could have the microphone come down, and it would just seem like Madison Square Garden. Cody would come out, and then out comes Jade Cargill, whatever they're going to call her. And then Brandy could come out and go, I don't know who the hell said that tonight was open mic night. Oh.
See,
So, man, JT, J Tilly, the J to the T, dude, wrestling is really starting to pop. And I just got to know, how is your AEW brain handling AEW slowly becoming sports entertainment? Uh-oh.
see,
Spoiler.
I was on that route until recently. Like I thought this week between actually even going back to last week,
Yeah.
Dynamite to Collision, to Dynamite and to Collision again. Like I feel like this is the AEW that I'm used to seeing. Like the little dovetail booking of things and the putting matches together. And I just thought like, all right, they're getting away from some of the sports entertainery stuff. Not that there's not all there, like Book of Gold and all their shenanigans is very sports entertaining, but there's entertainment-y, but they're still doing the really good in-depth storytelling, like Adam Cole and that whole situation. The next stuff with Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You're getting. I just there's still so many other like threads of stories. The Chris Jericho now teaming with Kenny Omega to take on Takeshita and his crew. You have the Elite, the Hung Bucks winning Ring of Honor 6-man titles. So they're doing all this stuff, and I don't think there's nothing to the Ring of Honor getting big stars right now. I'm
Mm.
very curious if with this television deal talks and everything, we're not going to see Ring of Honor on TV somewhere because
Dude.
you just gave the Young Bucks and Adam Page the 6-man titles. So 3 of your biggest stars now have Ring of Honor titles. Kenny Omega is now your Ring of Honor champion. Athena is just doing amazing things. Wouldn't be surprised if this new era they're talking about coming out after Wrestle Dream isn't going to be the max deal with live streaming Ring of Honor on it or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Because it
Oof.
definitely like it seems a little what's going on here? So
Yeah,
I'm excited about AEW. I'm a little sad Jade left, but I think she will do better in WWE right now, because I think she fits WWE. She's got that over the top star power. She's green, so getting her through NXT if that's where she shows up, which I personally think she'll show up main roster. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I think she'll go right to the main roster, even though she's the performance center today,
Hmm.
is the rumors. I just see her going straight to main roster. I don't
Yeah.
see a couple reasons. One, it's a huge get for WWE. So it's a huge. We just stole their went 60-0 title holder. We just got her in WWE, and no offense to NXT, they're not the highest viewed show. Why not push her right out on SmackDown?
Yeah.
And have her work. Have her show up and take on Io Sky or right in the
Oh
title
my
picture. I think.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do. And if they feel she's too green, you start doing vignettes for her or have her pop up live and build into the storyline that, well, I hear the best of the best is down in NXT right now, that being Becky Lynch. I'm going to go down and make a name for myself there. But I think your first pop, your first showing of her needs to be on either SmackDown or Raw. Because
Hmm.
one, it's a big FU to AEW. Like, we just stole your biggest champion women's star. Ha ha ha. Well,
Wow.
not biggest. They didn't get Britt Baker, but
Yeah.
we stole
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, who is a
Wow.
really well known, and I just think that would be a waste of a pop if you have her on NXT.
Hmm.
Personally,
So I wholeheartedly agree with, you know, you bust out your shiniest newest toy, um, but then at the same time you're like, well, there's nights where NXT is hitting almost a million views, and that's when the main roster folks are there. Well, you could say that the NXT folks, the boys and girls down there, oh, we were doing just fine without you. Yeah, you were getting six, 700,000 votes. It doesn't matter to them. They're making development money either way. But you bring Jade Cargill out and have her start a feud. Maybe Natalia stays down at NXT for a little while, or Tegan Knox stays down at NXT for a little while. That would be a fun program, and that would get people watching NXT. But at the same time, like you said, man, like you roll Jade Cargill out, whether it's Monday night or Friday night. And I almost think Friday night would be a bigger slap in the face because it'd be the night before Collision,
And
which
it's the
would
night of
generally be the
Rampage.
right, yeah.
Yep.
And that would be a cacao. So good say by you, sir.
Yeah, it's another big get. Like Cody was huge, and I think Jade's pretty good. Um, the opposite side of that is I'm sure there's going to be some big names going to AEW. The flip side of it here eventually. All rumors and indications are Adam Copeland could be showing up to possibly as early as Wrestle Dream and get involved in the 2 out of 3 falls match with Darby Allin and Christian. So that would be a huge steal for
Oh my
AEW if
god.
they could pull that off. But there's gonna be somebody, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, like some of these people's Becky Lynch, like some of their contracts are coming up,
Mhm.
and I think 2024 is what Fightful is reporting. And who knows? Tony Khan might just go, all right, here's how much you making there? Here's $1 million more. Come over here. Can you imagine Becky Lynch
Wow.
popping up in AEW? Especially if they get Mercedes Monet in there with her. And now you've got Becky and Mercedes who could join the Outcast if you want to put them with Saraya and Ruby Soho. And now you've got 4 ex WWE people just causing
Dang.
havoc. Um, and there's just
Wow.
some dream matches I think Becky Lynch would be involved in. Becky and Chris Statlander, Becky and Tony Storm. We never got to see that. Like,
Yeah, never got to see, and like we never got to see obviously the character that Tony Storm is now,
oh, it's so good.
and they only scratched the surface on her in ring work. If you watch her now, that would be, plus once Thunder Rosa is back, once Hater is back, just like,
Yep.
oh man. So that's but yeah, that's good stuff. I think WWE with their house shows, with their live shows and their Mondays and Fridays, and now with their new deal, there's all kinds of stuff with this deal too. And USA is going to get Friday Night SmackDown back,
Yep.
and you're thinking, oh man, that's awesome. Everybody's under one happy roof. Not so fast. So that means, what I'm thinking is, okay, cool. I'll just set it and forget it on Mondays and Fridays, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I'm just going to record off of USA. But Monday Night Raw and NXT are rumored to be on the move off of the USA network.
Oh.
And where they
Hmm.
looks like right now where they're going to land is on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So streaming service and all this other stuff. So you're going to have, the deal with Hulu is going away. WWE basically had like a 1 day tape delay deal with
Yep.
Hulu, so that's going away. Monday and Tuesday are getting off of USA and going to a possible streaming service. There is still a chance that they stay with the USA. Um, it's not Paramount. The USA family.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and just the money that's being thrown around, and you're seeing stars being made. Jay Uso, never did I think he would be able to pump a crowd like he's doing right now.
Yeah.
When that new his new entrance music, everything hits, he's going face to face with John Cena, with Cody Rhodes. He's already done a lot of stuff with Sammy and Kevin, but it was always as part of the bloodline, not the guy. And dude, they're doing a lot of really good things on Mondays. Friday, you're starting to hear and see signs that Roman Reigns is going to be back. And what is that going to look like with him being back? Who's going to be the next challenger, to go after the title? It's a lot of fun, and I don't know how you felt about the show for Monday. I really enjoyed it,
Yep. I thought it was
and it
really good.
it felt like some really good business was done. I'm really interested in what they're going to do with Nia Jax.
I did not like the fact that she squashed Zoe Stark that way because
Yeah,
I thought we were getting ready for a big push with her and Shayna Baszler and all this
yeah,
other stuff. And they get Nia Jax back and they're like, all right, we're just going to squash everybody. I didn't like that at all. I thought
at
that was
all.
poor.
Totally
I,
agree.
I understand what they're trying to do. Hey, she's this big monster heel. Okay, feed her, uh, anybody but the people that we keep hearing are getting the push. Like,
Right,
talk about Zoe Starks is in that program with Trish, and then she looked like she was on like this trajectory, and now you just squashed her to Nia Jax. I mean, like, come on. I would have rather seen her out there. No offense to Tegan Knox, but like Tegan Knox could have taken that loss. Or
right.
I'm trying to think of the tag team that came up, uh, Fire and Desire or whatever their names were.
Hmm.
Like either one of them. Like you could have put any of these NXT people who aren't really showing up on the main roster, even though they got
Right.
drafted. Put them in their first squash match. Yeah, I
Or
was really disappointed in that.
or not even book her for a match. They just catch her backstage, like she comes walking out with her suitcase, and she just starts, smashing everyone in the hall. And then she could go face to face. Maybe she goes face to face with Zoe Stark, and some words are exchanged, or she goes face to face with Shayna Baszler, or something. She gets into the ring. You hate to do it to Natalia, but she's Teflon.
Yep.
She's a Hall of Famer, like you said. Tegan Knox, um, Mrs. Gargano, there,
Yeah.
the Pixie,
Chelsea
like,
Green. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, and that, Chelsea Green, that would be a good story because there's connection there. And you're a tag team, they call you a champion, blah blah blah. Now she can get into a program with Piper Niven, and
mhm.
that could be a good story. But I totally agree. I think it's not quite 50-50 booking, but it's just about like taking all of the air out of her sails when it felt like they, like you said, that they were going to send her to the moon. And kind of a bummer because that
Yep.
program she had with a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer, and her, I thought it was strong, and I liked what they were doing with her since they brought her up to the main roster. And then, yeah,
So I got one for you as a Cody fan.
I
Do you think this spinoff into the Judgment Day stuff is because The Rock came back and he's not going to have his match at WrestleMania? So they're building more of a Cody versus Judgment Day because all indications were he was going to flip over to SmackDown and finish his story, but then poof, The Rock shows up, and now The Rock's out there talking about how he's okay with doing WrestleMania and all this other stuff. What do you think? Do you think this was a planned run for him to do with the Judgment Day and lead into something, or do you think this was a hey, we know we said we were going to give you Roman at WrestleMania, but we're going to push that? And I'm just curious what you read into it.
Yeah, so as a Cody fan, yes, it makes me batshit crazy, and I think deep down in my Cody soul, um, there could be a chance for some a real shitty thing to happen to him. But then on the other side, I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is just a target of opportunity because Hollywood is shut down right now, and The Rock wants to keep his brand in the
Yep.
focus. So he's going on all these shows, and he's now the clickbait. And, I didn't I I don't know if this is to stir up something with Roman coming out and saying, "Hey, you don't even know I was the one who turned it off," or one of the elders comes out, Rikishi comes out, whatever, and but for Roman to break the record, Cody's got to win it at SummerSlam.
Okay.
So Cody will go into a program and main event night one, or maybe he's the opening show on the opening match on night two, and
We'll
then
be there live to
SummerSlam.
find out. Just
What's
saying.
that?
We'll be there live to see it. Just saying.
Oh, oh man, I can't wait.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
so I think he'll either I don't think he'll main event night one. I hope that's either a tag team or one of the women's championship matches. I think that'd be awesome. So, but yeah, I think he'll overcome another hurdle at WrestleMania. Maybe it's Solo Sikoa, or maybe it's something that we're not seeing right now. And then
Maybe it's Jimmy.
some
Maybe this
yeah,
whole
maybe
time Jimmy's playing a big long game, and he really is still part of Roman, and or who knows? Yeah,
yeah.
I'd be curious.
But yeah, it definitely threw me for a loop, especially when he comes on and he's doing all these media blitzes, and The Rock isn't going to say something by accident like, "Oops, I let it slip."
Yeah,
Um, he's I don't know what his payday would be, but it wouldn't be, anything many people will see in their lifetime. Um, so now I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. I wouldn't mind seeing The Rock live. Um, especially if he's in the main event and he's looking at the lights at the end, that would make Roman king shit of the mountain. And then when
yeah.
Cody beats him, it would make him more king shit of the mountain. So
Y-
kingier,
So,
I don't
so
know, but
maybe good news, bad news, but latest is there is a tentative deal to end the strike. So, could be The Rock goes, oh, never mind, guys, I'm going
yeah.
back to movies.
The Rock says, I gotta go back. I'm gonna
The
make
Rock says I'm going to go make 36
yeah.
million instead of
I've
two
got
or
this
whatever.
Yeah, I've got this $500 million franchise that I've just signed on with. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
But
I'm joining the Star Wars universe. I'll see you later.
yeah, there you go. So no, that's good. I think that would do a couple of things. It might speed up John Cena, whatever story he's in.
Yeah,
I was hoping there was going to be something with LA Knight. Shout out to La Knight. Yeah, hope he's feeling better. Popped for COVID,
he's
and
another one whose contract is coming up.
yep, and
That
they're a little bit apart on um,
yep.
some
Oh,
cash.
now that would be a
So,
huge steal if
oh my god,
WWE, or if AEW grabbed him. That would be like grabbing. Yeah, that would be good. That would. Oof, that'd be a
hmm
top star right there.
so we're talking. So this is. Do you think it does anything for AEW if they sign a couple of the wrestlers that the WWE let go?
So the only ones that, and I think we might have talked about this earlier. So just recently let go of Dolph Ziggler and Shelton Benjamin, a couple other people. Those two to me stuck out as people I'd like to see to go AEW. Mainly Dolph because I'd like to see him work with his brother, and I
That would
think
be cool.
that would be a cool, like another brother tag team you could build up to take on the Bucks or FDR. Like I think that would be fun, and
Let's go.
I think Ziggler was very underused in WWE, and I think he would be able to come out and do his stuff. And then Shelton Benjamin, yes, for in ring stuff, but more for the producer role
Hmm.
because
Oh,
a lot
geez,
of
yeah,
those really good matches that I fell in love with, like watching on Raw, like you go back and you see that he was the producer on some of them. And a matter of fact, I think he was the producer on the Cody uh, Chad Gable match. So I think he produces a lot of Chad Gable matches. I'll have to go verify that. So for our fans out there, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he's the one of the main producers for those Chad Gables matches, which
dude.
yes, please, like give me more
Yeah,
of those. So I would like to see him. Now, if he wants to get in the ring, I wouldn't be mad to see him and Will Ospreay or him and
Mm,
Kenny Omega or him and Danielson. Like there's some really good matches he could do. But I'd like to see him more in a producer role. But I really would like to see Dolph and his brother just goofing off and having a little fun tag team.
that'd be cool. Yeah, just imagine what that four-way dance would be with the Hardys. You'd have
Edge and Christian.
the Edge and Christian would come out. That would be awesome. Obviously, you'd have to have the guns in there,
Oh yeah.
just for almost the comic relief
Yep.
of of what Colton's got going, or is it Austin? Who Jay White was like, and Austin.
Yeah.
Everybody else got these elaborate names, and they're like,
Yeah, that was pretty
rock
good.
hard, juiced
Juice
up,
Robinson.
and then Austin. Like, damn.
And it almost like
So
I don't even know if that was on purpose because it almost looked like he legit forgot what he was going to call him because he,
yeah,
whatever and Austin. I was like,
yeah, and
did he forget his line? But
yeah,
whatever, I loved it.
and then he was just
Yeah.
like he was upset. So he played it off really good too. And
Yep.
we were fortunate to meet the Guns before they were even really the Guns,
Yeah.
and just very jovial. Looks, like they're happy to be there. They're taking it all in, and they've been around the business their whole life. So I think they're ingrained in it. So a lot of the ad libbing was
Yeah.
was pretty good. So that would be a fun four-way. Bucks, Hardys, Guns, Edge, and Christian. And man, woo!
So
Yowza.
another free agent coming up here soon is some that if you don't watch the two big ones, you don't really know, but I think would make a big impact wherever he went, and that's Sammy Callahan. He's supposedly leaving Impact
Mm,
very soon, apparently, free agent like within the next few months. And he's not their
hmm,
current title holder, but he's been their title holder, and he's a guy that can
yeah.
get going in the ring. Like I'd like to see some Moxley, Sammy Callahan
Oh, geez, yeah.
storylines, and like there's some stuff he could do. So I'd be curious. You're more of a TNA Impact guy. Like where do you think maybe he might go, or
Yeah,
where
he
would he
would.
fit in? I guess.
Yeah, he would really fit um, in the NXT brand just
Okay.
because of the storytelling, and then his wife is also a wrestler, so that would be another aspect, and they could sort of play off of each other a little bit. But I don't know that he would want to go down to NXT when you consider he was in one of the most like memorable storylines with Tessa Blanchard,
Hmm.
where Tessa Blanchard went on to become the first world champion of a wrestling organization, women world champion, and that says something. I think he would do really well in MLW. I think that would be really really cool. He wouldn't get the reach that he's getting now, but MLW is supposed to be working on their TV deal with WWE coming off of Hulu. That may open another opportunity for them to get a really nice TV deal. So him leaving Impact, I mean, he's not quite AJ Styles homegrown, but he's been there a
Yeah.
minute. So I think he would do really well in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He could have some really fun matches with all the wrestlers on that roster,
Ooh, can you imagine him
and
and Eddie Kingston in a
yeah,
program? Him and Shibata? That'd
Shibata
be
would be
that would be some
yeah,
good stuff.
that'd be a lot of fun. There are a couple other contracts on Impact. Impact is trying to keep everyone right now, and NWA just basically hit the reset. So everyone they have, whether they're a champion or they're in a storyline, they're all pretty locked down and not going anywhere. So I don't think Eddie Kingston or not Eddie Kingston. Um, sorry, who were we just talking about?
Uh, Sammy Callahan. He made me
Sammy
forget
Callahan. I don't know why I was thinking Eddie.
because I
Uh,
said
s-
he would be a good match with Eddie Kingston. So
yeah, I don't think Sammy would be good at NWA just because he's a little more theatrical. So we'll
See, I see
see.
him going to one of the big two or staying at Impact personally,
Yeah.
because Impact's like number three, a distant number three, but they're number
Hmm.
three. And like you just said, like going to MLW or even NXT would almost feel like a step back.
Mm.
And I think for him to forward his career and do more if he wanted to, again, I don't know the guy, I haven't
Yeah.
talked to him, but I would assume maybe he'll do the Moxley thing and go do the independent runs for a while and pop up in AEW every once in a while.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, AEW's kind of seems to be tightening that a little bit because Eddie Kingston just dropped out of. He said he won't be doing independent bookings anymore. Moxley hasn't done his well. I mean, he's injured right now, but
Hmm.
although all accounts are he's cleared to wrestle again. So the injury
That's
that we all
so
feared
great to hear.
on
She's
Wednesday looks like okay, it sucked, but maybe not as bad as we thought, and everybody kind of
that's
went to instantly panicking. It was
yeah.
um, still good on him to make the call in the
Yep.
moment to change the title because he didn't know. So I thought that was
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So glad he's back. From what I understand, the Adam Cole injury is a little more worrisome.
Yeah. Mm.
So there's some concern, is what some of the things that I've heard have come out is there's concern for his knee. Although he's still booked for the match on Wrestle Dream on Sunday, so maybe it's a work. I don't know. That's not a work. He hurt himself. Like
Hmm.
I saw it as soon as he jumped, but maybe it's not as bad as we think. So I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll write it in the
I hope
storyline
so.
on tomorrow night, and we'll see something on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I was curious about what you thought about Sammy Callahan because, like I said, you're a bigger TNA guy,
Yeah.
so wanted to get your opinion on that one. And then the Jade Cargo, man, I can't wait. I
Oof.
hope she shows up Friday. Like,
Oof.
I hope she shows up Friday. Um, and then we were talking about network moves and everything, and with SmackDown coming off of Fox, I'm wondering if Tony Khan doesn't slip in and go, "Hey Fox, do you still want some wrestling? Like, you want to put us our Rampage show? Oh, by the way, it's going to be Ring of Honor Rampage, and it'll be on, you know,
Wow.
Fox at the same time SmackDown was on or something, or because that'd be a way one for him to show like, hey guys, the reason they get such good ratings is it's on a network television. I'm also curious what's going to happen to SmackDown ratings when they go to USA. So it won't be on just a regular antenna channeled TV you can
Oh
get.
yeah.
It'll be on. You technically have to pay extra to get
Yeah.
USA.
Hmm.
Although I don't know how many people in the country. Like I don't know all the statistics. How many people in the country have
Yeah.
basic cable and don't? But it's something that crossed my mind for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. We talk about Fox, or you talked about Fox and what they will and won't get, and who's being considered and all that. Well, Fox wants to go to a more sports dominated weekend. So it
Okay.
could be where they're going to make a move to get more college games. There's a couple of college games played on Fridays, but most of them are on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, from what I guess Fox wasn't super happy with the 2 billion as far as the return and advertising and everything.
Oh darn.
Yeah, darn, 2 billion. All right, thanks for the 2 billion. We'll move on. And I think the deal that they ended up getting was either 1.4 or 1.7 billion. On top, McMahon just walked away with 9 billion, and there's all kinds of rumors that he may be forced to step down or away
Yeah, I
for
saw that article
cause.
in Forbes. Yeah, Forbes
Ooh,
reported that TKO, I guess, when the merger officially happened and they got to see the books, I guess, and saw all the more of the behind the scenes and what we didn't get announced makes you go, and they went, oh, this could be a problem.
yeah,
You think
it's
you'd have looked
a
at that before you signed a merger.
little bit of a liability, they
Yep.
say.
Yep. A
Yeah,
little bit of a liability.
I
So,
could have told you that. And damn, um, the president of UFC. I mean, not that he's without fault and stuff, but I mean, he knows everybody. And you would have thought he would have gotten wind and looked at his boss and gone, "Boss, listen." And they look over at him and go, "Hey, man, we're gonna make you the president of something." Oh
yeah.
yeah, I've always wanted to be president.
Yep. Never mind. I'm good.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hire
I'm good.
McMahon.
Hey, yeah, and he's sitting over here. Oh, Dana White's. He's sitting
Yep.
there. That shit doesn't matter to me. I believe that too. Like he could care less. He's still gonna be him. He's still gonna do
Yeah.
him.
I agree.
But add a couple of zeros onto his already pretty cool salary. Not that he's not deserving, because UFC is just a monster, um, and so is the WWE. And if they can figure out a way to get those two organizations to live symbiotically, woo-hoo-hoo, watch out.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about bringing the real sports feel to wrestling, which is what AEW promised. But now WWE could actually do that
Yeah,
if they use some of the UFC. And I think I read somewhere that the UFC fighters now could have an option when they're done fighting and retiring the UFC to go easily into WWE as like part of their contracts. I'm like,
that's cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's wrestling, so there's rumors and everybody knows everything, and we're all
Hmm.
getting worked or we're getting shoot. Like, who knows? It's all out there. Who knows what's going on? But there are things that you're like, oh, like I hadn't heard about
Mm.
the Amazon Prime thing until you mentioned it. I was like, really? So who knows if that's going to be something? I had heard something a while ago that Amazon Prime wanted to get involved in wrestling.
Hmm.
And I remember when WWE was rumored for sale, it was Disney and Amazon were the two talking about it. So it would make sense if they, all right, well, we didn't get to buy you, but let's work on a streaming deal.
Yeah.
So we got Thursday Night Football at Amazon, so why not put Monday Night Raw on Amazon streaming? So
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I would be down with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of NFL, I mean, I just I want to say something. Go Dolphins! It's
Mm.
putting up a 70 points on old Broncos.
Mm.
Woo, woo,
Mm.
woo,
Mm.
woo. I
Yeah.
watched that game and I watched it from beginning to end because I'm a Dolphin fan. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah.
and absolutely like just was smiling. And I'm so torn on the last play where he could have kicked the 3 points and gotten the all-time record. And I was like, but I understand because Mike McDaniel was like, I don't want to run the score up. And he didn't. Like, if you look at some of the scores after they got a big lead, they were running plays. What do you want the guy to do? Not to run in for the end zone? Like, especially a rookie when this is his first time being able to play.
Yeah.
Give him, he got 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns like on his first NFL appearance. Like, hello,
Wow.
726 yards. Sorry, I just went on a
Yeah.
tangent. I just,
Yeah. And to our G-Men faithful fans out there, you got to trust the process. And I started this season saying, hey, I just want to go 500. And, oh, they just gave Danny Dimes all this money. Yeah, but they didn't give anyone else any money. They didn't bring all these big stars in. And then you turn around and Saquon's hurt. So you're like, ah. So maybe the O'Haras were right in not, footing the bill to just give Saquon a bunch of money. So hang in there. But yeah, I
so,
was,
I mean,
oh man. So I think it's going to be San Fran and Miami in the
yep.
Super Bowl. Whew,
Ooh, what a show
man.
that'll be.
I was hoping for the
Man.
Bills, but it does not look like it.
Yeah, I don't think the Bills are going to,
Hmm.
I think we'll get the Bills. We got the Bills this weekend. So it'll be a test. And if we put up 48 points on the Bills, man, I just don't see that they're stopping this Miami Dolphins team.
Yeah.
And, I think next week, so we got the Bills this week, and I think next week we got your Giants. So I'm a little terrified for you
Yeah.
because by all accounts, Denver's a little better than New York right now.
Oh my god.
Maybe we'll break the record that game.
Freaking Denver, dude. Oh man. One of
Yeah,
my buddies,
I was surprised. Go ahead.
Bobby. Hey man, Bobby, if you're out there, you're listening, thoughts and prayers out to the Mile High faithful. Stay strong.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't hear something about Sean Payton on the hot seat after that. I mean,
Yeah.
you lost by 50 points, man.
Yeah.
That's rough.
After he was talking smack too about Hackett and how Hackett ran the team,
Yep.
or didn't run the team, and well, Hackett never got beat by 70 points, so there's that.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
man.
So I know we usually talk wrestling, but I wonder. I saw your Giants hat and I saw my Dolphin hat, and I'm like, we're going against each other here in a couple of weeks.
Won't be
So,
long. Yeah. But no, it's good to see, good to see Tua playing well, looks healthy.
looks like the best
Moser,
quarterback in the NFL.
man, he's definitely up there. If it's not comeback player of the year, the AFC offensive player of the year, or I don't know if he'll get enough credit to be the MVP, but he's definitely playing like a boss. So damn.
Yeah, I think there'll be, and we'll see how the year progresses. But if they keep playing like they are, there's gonna be some conversation between him, Hill, and A-Chain, our rookie for MVP. I think personally, and I,
Man.
I I think if you're not talking about Coach McDaniel's as Coach of the Year,
Oh yeah.
yeah. But we'll see. It's too early. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. We're only 3-0. We started last year 3-0, and then tragedy happened in the Buffalo game last year. So
Hmm.
we're gonna we're gonna take it easy and be calm. But
Yeah.
I will say that out of the 3 games, he's only been sacked once and only been hit 4 times. So offensive line is doing their job.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
But we pivoted off of wrestling there a little bit. That's all
Phew.
right. We're allowed to do that. It's our show.
Yeah.
Come at me,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, so we've unfortunately had some of our superstars from the WWE get released, and we've discussed some of them. We've talked about the changes in the WWE, good, bad, or indifferent. Triple H is no longer considered a VP, but he's still in charge of creative. He's still got a $5 million uh, check once the buyout went through. A lot of really good stuff going on with the WWE, and it feels like their brand is growing and evolving and catching a lot of new eyes. And AEW is sustaining
Yeah.
and not like growing, and and I really hope they get it figured out and they grow new fans every day, like what the big juggernaut WWE is doing. And I don't want AEW to go out and try and become the WWE, because they they were advertised as like the opposite of that. So, Rampage, the viewing is whatever it is. Collision, the viewing and the buy rate, and house shows, tickets are whatever they are. I really hope with Brian Danielson as head of creative for Collision, and some of the wrestlers that are currently on the AEW roster, if they could become more of a household name, that would definitely help their cause, because you don't want to go and make your name by bringing in everyone that the WWE let go. And yes, Jericho is a WWE guy, but he is the face of AEW, and he would never tell anyone anything different. He's very, very proud of the championships that he's won. Won Ring of Honor championship and won AEW World Championship, and just phenomenal. With names like Jericho, MJF, Moxley, Eddie Kingston, just to carry that flag. I really hope that they can, keep you know, their what's the right word? I just want them to keep their stature
Right.
as a
Not become
top.
WCW and start
Right?
pulling
Yeah,
in,
that's a good way to put it.
oh,
Yes.
million
Yeah.
dollar man's free, we got him. Oh, Rick Rude,
Yeah.
we got him. And not pull in everybody that leaves because that's what WCW did, and I think that's what led, especially when the politics all hit the back. And
Right.
I will say the one thing about AEW is the politics game from outside looking in started to become an issue, especially with the good old Phil there. And I think, it got to the point where Con was like, that's enough. And I don't know if things changed in the back or not, but it feels like it.
It
Like you're not
does.
hearing
Yeah.
stories about people getting in fights backstage. We're not hearing like it just seems to have quieted down a little bit, and the product on TV seems to be showing that. So they keep that momentum going. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
And
I
it's
think.
successful.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a successful product. It's not like everybody's like, "Oh, they suck." But if it wasn't successful, they wouldn't be looking at a $2 billion deal for the next TV thing. They wouldn't be talking to Max. They wouldn't be partnering up with New Japan to do more pay-per-views. Like they're successful. It's just they're
Yeah.
not WWE successful, which WWE's been around for 40 something years. Of course they're
Yeah.
not. AEW's been around 4. So they've got
Right.
10 times as long on them to grow that fan base. And even to this day, people go, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was talking about Thunder Rosa. Oh, was she the WWE champion? I'm like, no, AEW, it's a different brand. Oh, okay. But like my mom didn't know the difference. And it's like, no, it's a different brand, but they're just as good. Like they're worth
Yeah.
watching. So, that it'll take them time, but I think they'll get there.
Yeah, I hope, I definitely hope they will. And you bring up that, I mean, that's such a strong point, 60 years and 6 or 5.
Yeah.
And in 60 years, WWE never did what AEW has done with their show All In. And just the alternative, and there's nothing wrong with 1 million views on a TV show. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Why? And here I am with my WWE brain. Oh, they did my. So yeah, I mean, as fans, we should be elated that we have another product that we can watch and consume wrestling a different way. Just like you're gonna eat steak cooked one way, or you're gonna have chicken barbecued. Maybe you're gonna have it fried. Maybe you're gonna have it, you know, um, as a burger or whatever. It's still chicken, it's still steak, it's still a burger, whatever. You're just eating it a little bit different, and
Yep.
it's freaking awesome. Especially like you're saying now, when the last couple of weeks the shows are progressively getting better, and that show at Arthur Ashe, the feel of it, the product, just it was awesome. The crowd, they were feeling it, and that yeah, I thought it was really cool. I love that new set.
Wrestle Dream, man. Wrestle Dream is a card. We'll talk about it Thursday
Yeah,
because we'll get more into like some AEW specific chat because it'll be after. Well, I don't know. This one's been a mix anyway. I kind of like these format of our shows where we talk everything wrestling, but
yeah,
we'll save something for Thursday because I definitely want to talk about the Wrestle Dream card because what a card that's shaping up to be. There's some matches on there that have potential to be match of the year.
yeah,
Before we wrap this one up, though, I do want to talk about a match that I think could be in my top 10 matches of the year that I never in my life thought I would say. But Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. What the F, man?
yeah,
Holy crap. I watched that match and I was just like, is Dragon Lee this good or is Dominic improved this much? Because that was fantastic. And I wanted to talk about when we were talking about Raw a little bit earlier, and I just forgot until just now. But holy cow. Like Dragon Lee went out there like, JR used to see maximize your minutes. Boy, he went out there and maximized his minutes and
yeah.
almost to the point where I don't think Dom had a choice. Like, I think some of those kicks and flips, like he was like, no, you're gonna sell this. Like, I'm gonna throw you from the top to the bottom on the floor, and it's gonna hurt if you don't like bounce it right.
Right.
Because whew, that match was like go, 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 go. Like not to compare and contrast, but it felt like an AEW match at some parts. I'm like, this is like, a Commander Vikingo match. It was just like, man, it was just really good. And I never thought I'd say that about a Dominic Mysterio match at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a mixture of Dom having more reps. Mommy hasn't been around as much, so he's had to get more. He's had to be in the ring a little bit more, and he's showing up 3 nights a week, so it's the reps.
Yeah.
The character work where he can't even get a word out edgewise. I freaking love that now. And but yeah, his ring work, he's watched his dad and everybody, Eddie, his whole entire life. So I think some of that was like natural, but like you said, I mean, over the last month and a half, 2 months, he's gotten significantly better. And Dragon Lee being able to carry or raise
Yeah.
Dom's game, that's a tribute to both of them. And that's just a sample of the product that we're seeing on NXT. Tiffany Stratton, is doing some great stuff. What still blows my mind, Ali was doing some really good stuff down at NXT. He wanted to be released, so it sort of worked out.
Yeah.
Corbin really doing some good stuff on top of all of the phenomenal young talent that is down there. Um, but yeah, it's awesome when we can get WWE level matches out of NXT on the big stage instead of in the performance center in front of 800 people or whatever. I'm super happy for them.
Yep. I just wanted to at least bring that up before we left because I don't want people to think I don't like talking about WWE, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that match. Thought it was great. So I wanted to make sure I shouted it out because it's not often I get to say that about WWE matches. So there are actually a couple on this one. I thought the Bronson Reed match was really good. I thought the Champa Ludwig Kaiser match was good, and I like the storyline they're doing with Imperium. So very good Raw. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know we went off on some other tangents tonight, but there was definitely some things on Raw that I was impressed with this Raw.
Good.
So really, really liked it.
So the second, what is it? The second show that McMahon wasn't the sole owner of WWE. Like what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Crazy, crazy.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully, like I enjoyed Raw, you guys enjoyed listening to us. Please like shy. That's easy for me to
Be
say.
shy. Be shy.
Like, subscribe, and share around to your buddies on YouTube and Rumble. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Saturday, we go sometimes live on the Fantasy Sports Core when we can. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes we get preempted. But Fantasy Sports Core, shout out to those guys for supporting us. They were one of our
Whoop, whoop.
first channels that they let us get on. So we appreciate the partnership there and look forward to doing this Saturday show where we recap everything in the week and not just kind of midweek, beginning week, that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
again, like, share, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. Follow our podcast, No Shave Man Cave, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Uh, Newsflash, Google Podcast is going away. So you'll
Mm,
have to now get us on Google Music. But yeah, Google Podcast is gone. It's going to Google Music. Just in case anybody, I use Google Podcasts. So that's why I was like, oh,
yeah.
but yeah, so anywhere you get your podcast from, again, leave us a 5-star review on the podcast. Let us know you enjoy us and are listening. Give us some feedback. We like the feedback. We can only grow and adjust with it. I think I covered it all. Oh, if you want to reach out to us, no shave man cave at gmail.com. We're also on all your socials, no shave man cave. Now I've covered it all. Now it's your turn to take us out.
Yeah, buddy. Bump and feed, bump and feed. Yes, sir. Hey, great show. Thank you so much for checking us out. To all our brothers and sisters at arms, stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you. We're super proud of you. Now hurry up, get your ass home. And until next time, my friends, my fam, thanks for checking us out. Stay safe. Look out for yourselves. Look out for one another. And we'll see